You are now seeing the first footage of Diddy, official footage of Diddy behind bars, Fort Dix prison, TMZ exclusive footage right now. And we are going to be getting into a new protective order that's been amended. I'm going to go into a paperwork read. Salute to everybody. Again, this is Diddy first footage behind the bars, and it's on silent. All of it is on silent. The footage is muted. Salute to everybody. Y'all make sure y'all dropping likes. Welcome to On Go. Everybody subscribe to the channel, share the videos, hype the videos, do all of that. Salute to everybody. Real footage behind the wall. Look at Diddy, bro. It's crazy, man. Hold on, I'm gonna pause it, man. Hopefully get to the light. Damn, look at my nigga Diddy, bro. Crazy, bro. Diddy in the building. Salute to everybody in the building. We are going to be going into a read. New paperwork has dropped. We are going to be reading exactly what went down exactly in the prison as well. So salute to that. Let's just finish this out so we can get into the reads. He looked chilling, man. He in the building chilling, though. You know what I'm saying? It's the best that he could ask for, man. You know what I mean? You got that time, but you in the building and you chilling, man. Shout out to TMZ for that exclusive. As you can see, the first look of the mogul behind bars. Let's just see what TMZ wrote. Diddy's working hard behind bars, wrapping up after an honest day's work in new videos obtained by TMZ. Check out the clips of the music mogul wrapping up his work for the evening on Friday at Fort Dix's media library located in the chapel, where he helps give movies and religious materials to inmates. Diddy's wearing a brown knit cap to cover his gray hair, seems to be readying to stay for a while, removing his scarf and blue coat to reveal his gray prison uniform. Later on, he puts the jacket back on and takes his leave. Hold up. They say read more. Hold up. Wait. Read more. Keep reading. Keep reading. Hold up. Takes his leave. Okay.
Remember what it felt like to be a little kid? Stores were playgrounds, and your mom's shoe closet was a world of characters waiting to be stepped into. And then one day, poof, things got serious.
I'm muted. I just want to see if they got any other little details.
You have to be an adult.
That we may need.
Believe that kid is in all of us still. So leave your adult self outside and call them in when it's time to check out. You'll be surprised at
we
how
got that
quickly
done.
you remember
Salute to that.
what it feels like to play.
Yeah, let's get to the read, though. Salute to that. Salute to everybody. You already know the vibe. Everybody make sure y'all dropping likes. Everybody make sure y'all subscribing to On Go. Be a part of all the channels. Salute to everybody that's sharing. And unsubscribe if you're a part of Uda On Go. Unsubscribe, subscribe back, and get the notifications. I haven't been live that much. YouTube has knocked off all my notifications. That's what people are telling me. So just unsubscribe, subscribe back, and you'll get the notifications there. All right, cool. Let's go and see what new updates we got in the paperwork so that we can see what the hell's going on with this now. All right, cool. Where we at? Okay, let's maximize this. Nah, boom, right there, right? Cool. Yeah, we good there. But this ain't as this ain't. Hold on, wait. Let me zoom this. Let me zoom this for y'all, so y'all can see this. I think that's about good. All right, cool. As you can see, amended protective order. Let's go from the top. So we're gonna start from right here. Pause. Right. Cool. Salute to y'all. Salute to everybody. You already know we're not playing games. We just get to the work. All right, cool. Dear Judge Submarinian, enclosed in the court's consideration is a second proposed addendum to the protective order in the above captioned case that has been executed by both parties at the defendant's request. The parties jointly proposed a second addendum addressing the defendant's use of materials covered by the protective order in civil discovery. Now they go into the names. Boom, 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 boom. As you can see, second addendum to the protective order. Upon the joint application of the United States of America and counsel to the defendant there, the court hereby finds and orders as follows with respect to the material covered by the October 7, 2024 protective order, as amended by the February 2025 addendum to the protective order. Whereas on July 2nd, 2025, the defendant was convicted of counts 3 and 5 of the superseding indictment after a jury trial. Whereas on October 3rd, 2025, the defendant was sentenced on counts 3 and 5, whereas the defendant forfeited the physical electronic devices that were seized from the defendant in connection with this case to the government, whereas the defendant received extractions of electronic devices, included the complete forensic imaging of the defendant's devices, extractions of the defendant's devices, as well as partial extractions of devices belonging to third parties in Rule 16 discovery in this case pursuant to the protective order. Now, whereas certain of the defendant's devices contain content related to the individuals identified as victim 1 and 2 in the superseding indictment, including communications, photos, videos, and other recordings, victim materials. Now, therefore, for good cause shown, it's hereby ordered: 1, extractions of the defendant's devices and partial extractions of third-party devices produced by the government to defense shall continue to be governed by the protective order as amended by the addendum. 2, extractions of the defendant's devices, except for any portions containing victim materials, may be used by the defense for purposes of defending against civil litigation, arbitration, or other private or alternative dispute resolutions. Therefore, modifying paragraphs 5, 9, and 12 of the protective order to permit the use of disclosure material as the term is defined, the protective order, in any discovery exchanged, and in any hearing or trial held, in any civil action involving the defendant, subject to the conditions set forth herein. 1, that's going to be in the subtext, this one. So we're going to see what that subtext is. Should portions of the extractions of the defendant's devices containing victim material be discoverable in civil litigation, arbitration, or other private or alternative dispute resolution, the parties shall meet and confer in good faith on modifying the protective order. The government may authorize in writing disclosure of victim material beyond the permitted by, The government may authorize in writing disclosure of victim material beyond that permitted by this order without further order of the court. Notwithstanding the modifications of paragraphs 5, 9, and 12 of the protective order, in paragraph 2, the defense shall treat the extractions of the defendant's devices consistent with the provisions set forth in the protective order, including but not limited to paragraph 6, 8, and 11. Any disclosure of materials from the extractions of the defendant's devices contemplated in paragraph 2 must be subject to a protective order in such civil actions that provides protections for the use of such materials in such civil proceedings, similar to those protections provided by the protective order for the use of the material in the above captioned case, subject to the rules, procedures, or orders of the presiding judge in any such civil proceeding. Now, hold up. Let's go into the 1. Remember that you got the subtext that's here. So let's see what it says. It says, this agreement does not obligate the government to make a witness available for the purpose of authenticating the extractions of the defendant's devices in connection with any civil proceeding. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Consistent with the protective order, including paragraph 8 and footnote 2 of the protective order, the extractions of the defendant's devices shall be designated attorney's possessions only. However, To the extent the extractions of the defendant's devices contain victim material and that the victim material shall be designated AEO and shall be destroyed by defense counsel after the criminal judgment in the above captioned matter is final as contemplated by paragraph 12 of the protective order. As any material from the extraction the defendant's devices produced in civil action as contemplated by paragraphs 2 and 3 above must be produced with designations equivalent to the designations above. 5. Partial extractions of third-party devices continue to be governed by the protective order and are not subject to the modifications set forth in paragraphs 2, 3, and 4 above. 6. To the extent the defense, including the defendant, obtains the ability to access any cloud accounts that contain victim material, this is a real one, the defendant agrees to destroy such victim material within 30 days of the entry of this order. The defense shall inform the government once all victim material has been destroyed from the defendant's cloud accounts. Because, you know, you could go back into phones, log in accounts, other phones and pictures. Other pictures, messages might be popping up. You need to be making people aware. You need to be destroying this. You have 30 days time. So you can't even say, yo, I ain't know. They giving you 30 days to figure this out. You supposed to know. So they already cut that corner on you on number 6. All right. Retention of jurisdiction. Number 7. The provisions in this order shall not terminate at the conclusion of this criminal prosecution, and the court will retain jurisdiction to enforce this order following termination of this case. And it's agreed and it's consented to by everybody set forth. Emily Johnson, Slavic. This is the prosecution team, the ladies, the top team. They said the all woman team. This is them. This is all of their signatures. And then we got Diddy's team. Driscoll, got Agnifilo, Geragos, Shapiro, Estaval, Westmoreland, and all of them was the counsel for sure. Combs. Okay, cool. Yeah. So they just most definitely made sure they locked it in with the protective orders. Any materials that he has on any iClouds accounts, he got to make it known, and he has to destroy that and get rid of that very, very soon. So, yeah. Let me see about this. Yeah, man. But what y'all think